Well, hello everyone and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. If you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. Today I have on my table my Jelly Roll Irish chain. It has been quilted. This is my back. I am putting the binding on it today, and I'm going to have to pull it up on my table. 1 second here. Okay, it's kind of hanging off today, but that's okay. I have my little binding. Somebody told me this is called a binding baby. I love this thing. So guys, I'm just going to tell you, I fibbed. I told you I was going to be doing my Santa gnome first. And I just noticed I have this wrong. I should be doing this on the back and not the front. But I told you I was going to be doing my Santa gnome first. Well, I had my jelly roll strips. I went on and made them into binding. My binding for the Santa gnome has not even been cut out yet because I do have to cut that one into strips, and I haven't done it yet. So I think the fabric that I'm going to be using is in my unfinished quilt box that this was in, and this was right under my Santa gnome, so it was up next. Sorry guys, Berninas make that noise when they start. My brother doesn't make noises, and I know, I'm sorry, I just threw that right in front of you guys, but I'm getting right on into this. I am doing a scrappy binding for this because I had some of this jelly roll left out of these that I did here. I had some of that jelly roll left, so I just sewed them end to end, and I figure I need to use that up, and what better thing than the quilt that was made out of it. I know I'm going to have to put my glove on. And guys, I want to show you something that I thought about as I was trimming this quilt up. Now, I have a good bit... I have some small pieces of binding. I've got a good bit rolled up here. I tried to save all of this because I may want to do a coaster that doesn't need more than this. But I had a nice bit of batting left, which is good for, you know, small projects, mug rugs even. But that's not even the idea I got while trimming my quilt. I have quite a good bit of the fabric left, the yardage, off of my backing of my quilt. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do, I'm sure I still have yardage that I trimmed off of other quilts that I've done. I'm thinking about making a scrap quilt from all the yardage that I have trimmed off of quilts. You know, instead of it being a back, make it into a front of a quilt. You know, just kind of like as a highlighting the fabrics that I put on the back of my quilts, because I normally do use a really pretty fabric on the back as well. And I think that would be a great idea to do that. And then I can use like my jelly rolls. I can make, you know, 2.5-inch strips of other fronts, you know, the front. Like this is a jelly roll, so I still have some of this left. If you watched my prep work video, you will have seen that I'm still, you know, I still have a few pieces of this left that I can actually make binding out of all the front fabrics. So I think that'd be great. I think that'd be a cute idea. But I'd have to go through my scraps and all and see what I have left. I am trying to go through everything currently in my sewing room, whether it be a scrap, a yardage, something like that. I'm going to need to be getting rid of, I've got so much stuff in here. I need to downsize a lot of stuff, and I have a lot of projects that I know I'm probably not going to get to, and why should I hold them when there's someone else that may enjoy doing them? It's not like I don't have enough here probably to keep me going for 10 years. And I will have my cotton cuts pre-cut coming in pretty soon. It's still right now in processing. They're still cutting it. Guys, if you go to if you're doing cotton cuts and you did a prepaid, they have some that's already being shipped out, but they have several that's still in the cutting phase. The rose finch is still in the cutting phase as of this morning. And that is as of today, the day you are seeing this, because I am recording Friday morning. I changed my chiropractic appointment. I'm still having a little bit of dizziness issues, so I'm not going to try to go today because I don't think that would turn out very well. I haven't laid flat for 3 days. I am sleeping in my recliner to keep the fluid from pooling on my ears so the vertigo will go away. And so far it seems to be helping, but I've got to get the fluid to dry up. And so while I have this going on, I'm not even going to attempt to lay down flat anywhere because it does not turn out well. I heard something fall. My quilt probably laid on something and pulled it off of a box behind my table. But if y'all heard that, that's all that was. I just had something behind my table fall off of a box because I'm sure my quilt is quite heavy. I just let it run off my table that direction, so. But now I have to pull it around here. Normally I cut this part out, but I know y'all can't really see on my table, but this way you can kind of see how I struggle, because my area is so tiny, y'all, and my table is so tiny. And those that can quilt in tiny areas, man, I applaud y'all. Why did my needle come up? Oh, it was supposed to. That's why it came up. See, my brain ain't even right now. I'm just not thinking straight right now. What I'm having to do is flip this binding. Guys, I tell you what, I'm going to have to get better on trimming my quilts, because I just have an awful time, or squaring up my quilts. Maybe not trimming is once it's quilted. I need to learn how to square up my quilt. I don't know how to do that. I'm going to have to do a little research, because I'm ending up, and I know poor Miss Ava probably thinks it's a mess when she gets it, because I just don't know how to do that. I may have to talk to somebody there to find out how they do it. And I mean, I've seen people say, well, measure corner to corner, and I can't do that. I don't need to be measuring corner to corner or edge to edge. I need to figure out how to make them all straight. They shouldn't be coming out all wonky anyway on the edge, but they are. They're coming out crazy, which then makes trimming hard. Getting ready to put a binding on it, it makes that difficult. But I need to learn how to do that squared up. I'm thinking like fold it in half, then fold it in half, fold it in half the short way, and then fold it in half the long way, and then just trim up. That's what I'm thinking. I know that's not right. I know that's not right. That's just a harebrained idea. But I'm going to have to figure out a way to square up my quilts, because I don't know how to do that. And I know a lot of y'all are probably going, how do you not know how to do that? Just because I've never seen that instruction anywhere on how to do it. And I am technically self-taught on how to quilt. Even though I did watch my grandmother quilt growing up, I am technically self-taught on this part. Because I never saw my grandmother square up a quilt. Hers was probably already square. I mean, but I know poor Miss Ava, because I see she puts the stitch line in the edge of it, and it's like all over the place because my quilt is all over the place. But I need to figure out how to do that better. So those of you that are new to my channel, I have only been quilting since May or June of 2023. I am self-taught. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I read a lot of materials. I take a lot of instructions from booklets and things, trying to learn how to do this. Because, y'all, and I'm sorry, my nose is really itching crazy today. And we are having another cold day today. It's 44 degrees outside. It's supposed to be in the 70s tomorrow with potential tornadoes. So, you know, guys, it's just Louisiana weather. I'm telling you, we have crazy weather here. And I know lots of other places have, because Alabama, they had tornadoes like 2 nights ago. So I know we're not the only ones that have strange weather. I know it. Everybody has strange weather, you know, whether it be tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, volcanoes erupting. Did y'all see that? I think it was here recently. The big island of Oahu, I think it's Oahu, has 2 spouts right now. I don't know. That could have been something old I was saying, but I think it's more recent. But, you know, anyway, I mean, Hawaii was formed by volcanoes, so it's not that it's not possible. It could be very possible. Yeah, I don't like it when I have to lean over my machine like that, but I have to sometimes to pull I can pull it easier than I can push it with the glove. But yeah, I mean, just there's strange happenings like that all the time, everywhere. You know, if we ever have the same weather 3 days in a row, we start getting worried. Or I do. I may be the only one that worries about that because, you know, we've had rain for 2 days. It was kind of misting yesterday, but it wasn't raining. But I think we're supposed to be getting storms tomorrow again. And it is Valentine's Day, y'all. Happy Valentine's Day. If you don't have anyone to tell you Happy Valentine's Day, I am here to tell you guys I love you all. Happy Valentine's Day. You don't have to have a sweet somebody else to tell you that. You can have a friend tell you Happy Valentine's Day. Because my husband is not here today to tell me Happy Valentine's Day. But, you know, every day of the year should be Valentine's Day. When you're married, always do something sweet. My husband, he calls himself doing things sweet. But 9 times out of 10, it's something that he wants. So technically, it's not for me. This year, we got the news of a new baby coming, my niece. So I'll have a new great niece or nephew. So that's one good Valentine something. We had some other news in our family yesterday. I don't know if it's out, so I'm not going to say anything about it. At first it was bad news, but then it turned into good news. So, Aunt Betty, if you're watching this and you don't know, it's okay. Nothing to worry about. It's good. But I don't know how many people have been told about it yet but everything is okay. Got the phone call last night that everything was good and okay. And actually, Aunt Betty, if you get this and you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll know tomorrow. Because when you see this, we are on our way to the hockey game. So, you know, if we're on our way to the hockey game, everything's good. And no, don't worry, it is not Amy. I'll just say it's not Amy. Amy is great. And I know you know about the new little one that's coming. And I bet you already have your yarn going. Making that baby a little Afghan. I know it. I know you do. I know you do. Yeah, that's what my aunt does for all of our babies. She makes a little Afghan for all our babies. Sitting here trying to get my binding straight. And I know y'all can't see it, but I have to do it like this so I can see it and make sure it's straight up there. And I am sewing my binding at a 3/8 inch just because it comes out better. That way everything matches up a lot better when I do 3/8 inch. I don't know what the math is in that, but it works. I don't question. And I really want to go to my quilt shop today, but I know better than going there today because I have a doctor bill to pay, and I won't pay it if I go because I'll spend all my money on that. I know I will. Even though I do need to get a quilt to the long arm. I need to get a quilt over to Ava today. I may do that. I got to go pick my grandbaby. Y'all, I know I am rattling 90 to nothing, ain't I? I've got to go get my grandbaby's Valentine gift today. I haven't got it because it is not something I could get early, but I'm sure they'll love it. I'm going to go see my little grandbaby girl. Go see that sweet little munchkin today. I miss her so much. They were living with my youngest daughter, and then they moved in with my oldest daughter for a little while. You know, it kind of gets hard when you stay with the same people in a small house. And you're trying to have two families do their own thing, and it don't work that way sometimes. Give each other a break. Because both of them were used to having, you know, their own space. And when you got another family living in your space, you don't have your own space no more. And it's difficult. It really is. And I've got to get on to working on my grandbaby girl's little romper for her too. Maybe when I go today, I can get her measurements. And I can get started on that. Sometime this weekend maybe would be great. And I know I won't see my grandson until, well, I don't know. I may be able to see him today because I know my sister don't get in from work until about 5:30, and she's going to ride with me. Ooh, I better stop. Oh, y'all, I almost got that glove up under that needle again. That's not learning a lesson if I had done that again. I got short, stubby fingers. Yes, so now, oh, I got a whole nother side to do, don't I? Why did I feel like I was on my third side already? And I didn't get as much of the peach or orange color in this quilt. Actually, I didn't use any of it. So I have a lot of it in the binding. And I know I'm very far away from my table right now, just because it seems to help if I'm further away on the binding. I don't know why, but it does. It seems like it works better. But my goal for this weekend, I'm going to record this for you guys tonight. And then I have to go to town. Oh, I got a ladybug up on my light above y'all. It ain't a ladybug though. It's one of them Asian beetles. Nuisance things. I think one of my cats got a hold of one last night because I noticed it had thrown up in my floor. That I had to clean up bright and early this morning. Thank goodness I didn't step in it. And that's normally what they do. Them Asian beetles will make a cat very, very sick. And dogs. They'll actually attach to the roof of their mouth and it can unalive them. So check if you have them and you have animals, check the roof of their mouth daily to make sure they hadn't gotten a hold of one, because they love to eat on those things. Okay, so now I have to pull this back. Try to make that step as quick and pain-free as possible. Sometimes you can't, but do the best I can. So guys, I mean, this morning, like I said, it is Friday morning. I'm having a late start. I actually haven't even eaten breakfast yet, and it's past noon. So, I mean, it's past time for that. I think what I'll do as I'm out and getting my grandbabies Valentine things. Well, they'll have it by the time this video comes out. I'm going to Cookie Crumble and getting them, or Crumble Cookie, and getting them some cookies, and then getting them some cute little, you know, maybe get them a little toy or something. Get them something. Get them a sweet treat and a toy to play with. Most of the time, I always get them like a shirt or something. But I haven't done it this year. Or I make them, you know. A lot of times I'll make them cute little vinyl shirts. But I haven't done that a lot. With my grandbabies, I always made them for my niece's little boy. She would always bring me a shirt and ask me to do something for him. And I would. Because he goes to a private school. And they all the time, they can wear t-shirts or something, you know, on Fridays, and t-shirts and blue jeans. They don't have to be uniform. But, and for all their football games, I made him like a jersey or something. She would bring me the little athletic shirts, you know, and have me put a number or something on the back for him. My goodness, my quilt is pulling. I have a garbage can over here with a tray sitting on top of it that's got some scrap fabrics in it, and my quilt is just pulling all them scrap fabrics out of there. I need to get them out of there. But let's see, what are we waiting on right now by means of boxes coming in? Still waiting on my Creative Notions February box. I'm hoping that'll be soon. If you don't know about Creative Notions, you pay for it like 1 month and it comes out the next month. So I haven't gotten my Creative Notions. I haven't gotten my cotton cuts, which, like I said earlier, I do know that that is still in the process of being cut. I don't understand. I guess I do understand. It's easier to get all the 1 month payers out first. But I would think those that pay everything up front should get theirs first. That's just me, though. Because once you've got them out of the way, then you can start cutting everybody else's. But I guess, you know, this is the thought process on this is this will be quicker. You know, get that 1 month out for everybody. And that way, cutting all the other months won't delay anybody else's going out. So I'm thinking that's probably the thought process in it. You know, but of course, who doesn't want to get their stuff first? Who does not want to get their clue and get it out there and get to making it to see what it's going to look like? But once I get mine, I will do it on here with you guys, and we will get to see what our flyway is going to start looking like. I'm so excited to see what that looks like. They say think bird migration. So bird migration. I don't know what that could be. Really, I don't have a clue of what that could be. So here we go, turning this back around. And this is our last edge. So let me see how much space I have there. And it is good. I do have enough binding which is great. I thought 8 would probably be enough. You know, I didn't think I needed a full 8, but I do think I needed 8. And I think I did, because I think I'm on my last strip. Because this right here, I think is the last. Yep, nope, I have one more color that's about to come up though. So I might not have needed 8 strips. So I'm trying to make sure I'm not getting too close to this other one. Now I did see another tutorial on how to do the edge binding, which is what I really like. You know, the at an angle binding. Okay, y'all, that ladybug is now over here on this light. As long as it don't get on me, I'm okay. Because them things stink. Oh, Lord, they stink. I think I'm going to stop right about here. Okay, because this will give me a lot of space. And I'm going to take my tray off, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, so I have my 2 pieces here, which I know you cannot see. I have it laid out. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I left a big gap here. So first off, I need to cut. I had 1 strip too many, so I only needed 7. So I still have a little bit of this left, which is great, because if I have another small project, I can actually bind with this, if it's kind of, you know, in the same color scheme. So I am putting this over here, and let's see if we can figure this out. Well, guys, I'm coming to the conclusion I don't have time to sit here and try to figure this out. So I'm doing the method that I've been doing, the straight across. Not that that's the one I want to do, but that's the one that's easiest to do when you have very little time. What I do is I take my strip. I use my 1/2 inch ruler. I mark on each side of this, because that's a 1/4 inch on each side. And I trim away that top one. I trim the top fabric. I trim above that first line. The bottom fabric, I trim just to the right of the second line, or to the outside of it, whichever you want to call it. Now, this is not normally how I would do this, but this is how I have been doing it lately, because it's just so much faster to do it this way right now. And I have a lot of quilts I'm working on. So I'm just trying to get them done as fast as I possibly can. And guys, we're already in this for 40 minutes. You're not going to see 40 minutes, but we're already in this at 40 minutes. So I'm going to have a lot of editing down to do for you guys. So I don't have my iron on, so I won't be pressing this. I will be doing a finger press on it. That is not ideal, but that's what I've got going at the moment. So what I do here is I sew this at 1/4 inch. I don't do a scant 1/4 on this. I do a full 1/4 on this, because when I cut just to the outside of my ruler. So that took care of any scant 1/4 there. So this, now what I have to do is, I've got to open this, and this is a seam that I always have trouble getting flat and getting it to open the way I need it to. Here we go. I got it. So now what we do is we put this back on the machine, and I know I didn't check it to make sure it was right, but I'm getting my needle down in the machine first. So then I can put my glove back on, and I can sew this for you guys. There's some things I cannot do with gloves on. And guys, y'all see that sunlight behind me? Isn't that marvelous? It's not going to last very long. And it's cold. Even though it looks beautiful and warm, it's not. It's cold. So we are sewing this at that 3/8 inch also again. And yeah, I still have a little extra there. But what I do is I make it crunch up under the, I'm going to have to get better at that. That's why I need to get back to doing my vertical binding, because it just looks so much better than this. Okay, so now we just flip it over. I'm going to hold it right here on this side because I want to see how bad that looks flipped over. Because I just don't like doing my binding like that. It doesn't look right there. It doesn't, well, yeah, you can see where it, and this part I cannot do with a glove. So we are just going to trim up any of these threads that we have. And normally when I do this, I can do it on that 3/8 inch, and it is the perfect size. Let me get that needle down in there. And guys, I'm just going to focus on sewing this, and we will be back after I'm done. I may pop back in and talk a little bit, but right now my main focus is getting this binding on to complete it. Well guys, here we are at the end of our binding. This is my last little stretch right here. It did not take me too long to get through this part of the binding, probably about 20 minutes, because we're in at about an hour and 10 minutes right now. And I am just ending up the binding here. Just trying to make sure I keep my binding folded over and not crinkled up or anything to attach it. Put a couple back stitches in that. And here we are. Let me get this trimmed off. So guys, we have another finish. Welcome to my Finishing Friday. I forgot to say that. Well, thank you for coming and joining me today. Look at that. Beautiful flower there. And then we got some of that peach right there. So, guys, this ended up really well. I really like the scrappy binding. It turned out beautiful. I love it. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've got some sewing done. Before you roll out of here, please give me a thumbs up. Like, share, comment, do all the things. Subscribe. Share me with your friends. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, guys.